Let's talk about Josiah Gray. This is the guy, Alex, a year ago. Harold's right. He got up a lot of home runs, and this year he's keeping the ball in the park. That appears to be the biggest difference so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest difference he had, and between that and also the walks. For him, it's about the walks as well, and keeping the ball down. So going back to it, I mean, last year, like Harold was talking about, fastball was up in the zone. I mean, he's got a good four-seam fastball and can play up in the zone, but as Davey Martinez and Jim Hickey over there, trying to get him to do is play more down in the zone and go up with effect. Slider, same thing, over the plate, curveball, up in the zone. A lot of stuff was up in the zone because he was walking a lot of guys, trying to throw strikes, not quality strikes, just trying to get the ball in the zone. Changeup, he was trying to work and develop a changeup as well because he had a good breaking ball and a good fastball, and bringing in the sinker as well. And nothing went right for him last year. Coming into this year, you could tell he's made a step forward. And after that, his first start of the season, he's been lights out and a bright spot for the Washington Nationals. Fastball down in the zone. Look at all the location on these pitches as well. Slider away. He's got a little bit bigger break at 87, and he's got a good 12-6 curveball at the bottom of the zone there. Freezes him. I mean, that's a good backdoor pitch. This is the big pitch right here, though, is the cutter. He's incorporated this pitch a lot more this year. Didn't throw it at all last year, and he's basically bagged the changeup and the sinker and has gone primarily to the cutter. And you see this a lot of times with guys that can spin the ball really well, is they have a hard time throwing the changeup. Well, instead of throwing a changeup, let's figure out, let's throw a little cutter, a little slider, and his curveball acts as more as like his change of pace. He gets a little bit slower. And if you look at his pitch usage, this is the other thing. It's a little more even. He was fastball heavy in 21 when I was there catching him a little bit, and he was trying to figure himself out. 22, still a little fastball heavy. 23, across the board, he's pretty even split, keeping the hitters guessing a little bit more, and all of his stuff plays a little bit better, being a little bit more evenly split throughout the game and having a bit better game plan. But one thing I can say about this kid, he came over in the trade for Scherzer and Turner. I mean, that's some big shoes, that you're following there. So I know, and catching him, I got a chance to catch him in 21. I got to catch his first start. Coincidentally, it was against the Marlins. It was one of my last games as a player, and his first big league win. Tremendous guy, super bright.
Say if he lost, I understand that was why.
Come on now. But Davey and Rizzo over there, the general manager, love this kid. Extremely hard worker, and you can see he's taking that step forward. And a big reason why the Nats have been playing good ball, and someone that they'll be able to count on for the future.
So how would you call a game for him now, as opposed to when you did in 21?
Well, I mean, his fastball plays, but sometimes early on, trying to figure out what secondary pitches he can use to be able to get the swings and misses. His fastball plays, but when you're throwing it that much, and that was something that, as a catcher, too, I was trying to figure him out, too, not having caught him ever, and then all of a sudden kind of jumping into
when you can't throw strikes with the
games.
Other pitches, you got to throw the fastball.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah. Having that command so when I call something, it's going to be executed.
Right.
And he's been doing that, and I think the cutter's been huge for him. It's a different wrinkle, something different that he can throw to left-handed hitters because his changeup wasn't very good to lefties. It still got hit, and he needed something to be able to go into left-handed hitters along with that slider, and now he could use the curveball more like that changeup. That gives him the speed difference off his fastball. But having a more even, repertoire like he's been doing now and kind of splitting it up, between his fastball, his slider, his cutter, and his curveball, the way he's doing it and distributing it throughout the lineup, is way more effective, and the big thing is command.
So when you have a guy that can throw a slider and a cutter, they're similar.
They're similar, but they're a little bit slower. The slider's going to have a little bit bigger break. The cutter, that's the cutter right there. Yeah. It's still 90 miles an hour. It's a cut fastball. Think of it more of a fastball with a little bit of movement.
Joey Wendell's hitting 107, puts the ball in play. The run scores, and now they're just throwing the ball all over the place.
That guy's out already, guys.
And then here's Hampson.
Trying to tag everybody.
Pops it up. Gray gave up 38 home runs a year ago, the most in baseball. To Alex's point, he's really worked on that. Go ahead.
See right there.